Your calendar is full. Doctor appointments, grocery runs, family visits, church meetings. You're always doing something. But late at night, when everything is quiet, you feel empty. Why? They told you to stay busy after 60. Keep your mind active. Don't sit still. Stay social, stay sharp, stay moving. So you did. But somehow, despite all that movement, you feel like you're going nowhere inside. Here's the hidden truth. You don't need to be busy. You need to be fulfilled. And those are two very different things. In this video, we're going to talk about something no one warns you about in retirement. Being busy can distract you from your emptiness, but only meaning can heal it. You might be doing 10 things a day, but if none of them connect you to your joy, your soul, or your purpose, it's just noise. This video is your invitation to pause and ask something deeper. Am I filling my day or fulfilling my life? We'll explore the 5 subtle signs that your busyness might actually be making you feel more lost, why we fear slowing down after 60, and what we're really avoiding, and how to shift from constant activity to intentional, soul-level fulfillment. If you've ever felt exhausted from doing all the right things, looked at a full calendar and still felt unseen, or caught yourself asking, is this really how I want to spend my days? Then this video is for you. Because after 60, your time is not something to fill, it's something to honor. And honoring it means choosing what truly matters, not just what keeps you occupied. Busyness numbs you. Fulfillment wakes you up. And after 60, you deserve to feel alive, not just distracted. Let's begin. Busy all day, but still empty at night. Joe is 69. He wakes up early every day, not because he has to, but because he's afraid not to. He makes coffee, walks the dog, checks the news, cleans the kitchen, organizes the garage, calls his daughter, runs errands, checks on the neighbor, watches the evening news. His calendar is always full, but when the sun goes down and the TV is off, Joe sits in his armchair and stares at nothing. The house is quiet. His body is tired, but inside, he feels restless. And though he would never say it out loud, he sometimes wonders, what's the point of all this? This is one of the most common and least talked about experiences after 60. You're busy all day, but by nightfall, you feel hollow. It's not because you didn't do enough. It's because you didn't feel connected to what you did. Why this happens? After retirement, many people feel pressure to stay active, so they fill their time with tasks, cleaning, helping, attending, checking, fixing. But here's the truth. Tasks keep your hands busy, but not your heart. When your days are made of errands and routines that don't light you up, your brain may stay active, but your soul starts to go quiet. This creates a subtle but dangerous emotional pattern. You feel restless when still. You feel guilty when resting. You feel anxious when unoccupied. You confuse productivity with purpose. And eventually, even if everything looks fine on the outside, you feel lost on the inside. What you can do. It starts with a question. Did anything I do today make me feel alive? If the answer is no, too many days in a row, something has to change. Try this. Replace one task each day with one thing that feeds your soul. Music, walking without a destination, reading something that moves you. Practice doing nothing, without guilt. Sit, breathe, watch, be. Without the urge to accomplish, ask yourself, what am I avoiding by staying so busy? Often the answer is feelings, loneliness, grief, regret. But facing them leads to healing, not hiding, deeper truth. You don't need more things to do. You need something to feel. You help everyone else, but you forgot yourself. Marta is 74. Everyone calls her the reliable one. She watches the grandkids twice a week. She cooks extra meals, just in case someone needs one. She visits her neighbor in the hospital. She remembers birthdays, anniversaries, and who likes which kind of tea. People say, "You're amazing, Marta. I don't know how you do it." But Marta? She cries in the laundry room, not often, just quietly, because somewhere between errands and caregiving, between being strong and being useful, she forgot what it felt like to be herself. This is one of the most subtle forms of emotional depletion after 60. You're always doing, but never being. You give your time, your energy, your attention to everyone around you, but you leave yourself out of your own life. Why this happens? After a certain age, especially for women, your role often shifts to caregiver, supporter, organizer, emotional anchor, and there's nothing wrong with caring. But when giving becomes your entire identity, you start to feel like a machine, not a human. You move from love to obligation, from presence to performance. And deep inside, you start to whisper, "When is it my turn?" What this feels like. You wake up with a to-do list, but no excitement. You feel tired even when nothing big happened. You can't remember the last time you did something just for joy. You feel invisible in your own story. It's not burnout from doing too much. It's emptiness from doing too little that truly matters to you. What you can do. Start with this question. What do I do for myself that no one else asked me to do? If the answer is nothing, that's your sign. Try saying no once a week, even gently. Creating a you-only hour each day, reading, walking, painting, praying, making one small decision just because it feels good, not because it's useful. You don't need to stop helping others. You just need to start helping yourself, too. Deeper truth. You don't have to disappear in order to be loved. Let's pause here. Have you ever said yes out of guilt, not joy? Helped everyone around you, but felt like no one really saw you? Felt like your value was measured by how useful you are? If so, type #2 inches in the comments, or just whisper, "I felt that." That's enough. You keep saying yes because you're afraid to slow down. Frank is 70. He says yes to everything. Yes to volunteering at the community center. Yes to helping his son with the car. Yes to joining the local book club, even though he hasn't finished a book in months. His friends say, "You're so active, Frank." But what they don't see is the fear underneath. The fear that if he stops moving, the feelings will catch up. So he stays busy, because silence feels too loud, and rest feels too close to being forgotten. This is one of the quiet traps of aging. You stay in motion, not because you want to, but because you're afraid of what will happen if you stop. Why this happens. Slowing down invites space. And space lets in emotions we've buried. Regret. Loneliness. Loss. Even questions we're not ready to answer. Like, am I truly happy? So instead, we keep saying yes. Yes to tasks, to noise, to calendars full of things that look good, but feel empty. Because movement feels safer than stillness. What this feels like. You feel uneasy on quiet days. You get anxious if your calendar is empty. You feel silence with distraction. TV, errands, noise. You say yes even when your body says no. It's not about being useful. It's about being safe from the silence. But here's the truth. Stillness isn't your enemy. It's where your healing begins. What you can do. Next time someone asks you to do something, ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or am I afraid of saying no? If I said no, what would I do at that time? What emotion am I running from? You don't have to stop being active, but you do have to stop being afraid of quiet. Because that quiet, that's where your inner voice lives. Deeper truth. Busyness hides your feelings. Stillness reveals your truth. Time to pause again. Have you ever felt more anxious on a free day than on a busy one? Said yes out of fear that slowing down means losing relevance? Distracted yourself from emotions by doing things that don't matter? If so, type #3 inches in the comments, or just sit with it for a moment. That alone is brave. You've done so much, but you still don't feel fulfilled. Sandra is 68. Her scrapbook is full. Trips with friends, birthday parties, grandkids sleepovers. She's organized community events, learned watercolor painting, even took a yoga retreat in Portugal. People say she's living life to the fullest. But one evening, sitting alone in her sunroom, Sandra whispered something out loud she hadn't even admitted to herself before. Why does it still feel like something's missing? We often confuse a full life with a fulfilled one. Sandra had checked every box, but inside, there was still a quiet ache. Not for more activity, but for more meaning. Because fulfillment isn't about how many things you do. It's about whether any of them touch your soul. Why this happens? The world around us celebrates busy. Even after 60, the pressure is there. Be productive. Stay relevant. Keep going. But there comes a point when another event doesn't bring joy. Another trip doesn't fill the void. Another checkbox doesn't make you feel seen. That's not failure. That's your soul asking for something deeper. What you can do. It starts with honesty. The kind that whispers, not shouts. Ask yourself, what parts of my day feel meaningful? What parts feel like I'm performing? What am I truly craving, not just planning? Then take one brave step. Cancel something that doesn't feed you. Start something that does, even if it's small, quiet, unseen. Reconnect with what made you feel most alive before the noise began. Sometimes fulfillment is not about adding. It's about subtracting everything that dilutes your truth. Deeper truth. You can do everything right and still feel wrong inside. Fulfillment comes not from doing more, but from doing what matters most. Pause for a second. Have you ever looked at a full calendar and still felt alone? Have you ever done all the things and still wondered what was missing? Have you ever thought, there has to be more to life than this? If yes, type #4 inches in the comments, or just breathe. That moment of truth is the beginning of something real. You were never meant to be busy. You were meant to be whole. Eleanor is 73. For decades, she was a multitasker, raising 3 kids, running a household, volunteering, and holding down a part-time job. After retirement, she promised herself, now I'll finally do what I love. So she filled her days, gardening, book clubs, online courses. But eventually, she noticed something strange. Even on the good days, she felt unsettled, as if her body kept moving, but her heart hadn't caught up. One afternoon, while sitting quietly under a tree, she felt something she hadn't in years. Stillness, not boredom, not distraction, just presence. And she realized, maybe I don't need more things to do. Maybe I just need to be fully here. This is the truth no one tells us. You were not meant to stay busy. You were meant to feel whole. Wholeness isn't about accomplishments. It's about alignment between your actions and your soul. And after 60, you deserve more than just keeping up. You deserve peace, purpose, depth, stillness, joy. Let's revisit what we've learned. Busyness can distract you, but not fulfill you. Giving to others is beautiful, but not if it erases yourself. Saying yes to everything often means saying no to what really matters. A full calendar isn't the same as a full heart. Stillness isn't laziness. It's where your real life begins. What you can do. Starting today, choose fewer things, but do them with full presence. Make space for silence, reflection, emotion. Honor your time, not by filling it, but by feeling it. Give yourself permission to do less, but feel more. You don't owe the world your constant motion. You owe yourself your honest attention. Final truth. You don't need to prove you're still useful. You need to remember you're still whole. If this video felt like a mirror, even for a moment, leave a comment below. You can type #4 inches or share what touched you most. And if you want more gentle, powerful truths like this, Right finger, subscribe to Speech Balloon Longevity Talks Herb for videos that speak to your soul, not just your schedule.